One small step for man, one giant leap. Stop poking me!
Will Nuke, the Oracle Octopus's predictions for Group D come true? Not only that, will the four StarCraft gods all win today? Jaedong, Flash, Bisu, and Stork. Find out in the next exciting episode of Nuke the Stars commentaries, which is actually right now. Yes, it's going to be Cal versus Stork. So deciding. This is another Who's Screwed, Who's Not So Screwed score sheet. Potentially deciding game. This game could end the group right now. If Stork wins, Stork and Free automatically move out into the round of 8. So Free is backstage. He's got some pom-poms, I'm sure. He's going, go Stork! Give me an S, give me okay, whatever. So yeah, yes, Free's back there, most likely wearing a mini skirt. Oh god, that's a mental image. But he does have pom-poms, and yes, he is rooting for Stork, because if Stork wins, he gets to move out too. And Cal and Fantasy will drop out of the group of death, will be decided. Here we go! So exciting. I'm feeling good today, not sure why. I just got an idea to group like 1 year's worth of ideas together into one video. Except, so that's exciting. Up at the 10 o'clock position, and yellow is Kyle. So that means down at the 5 o'clock position and whatever was Stork, and red. So Stork's red, Cal is yellow. We got some mustard and ketchup already. Yes, cross positions. This will be a nice macro PvP. I missed PvP in my last few seasons, so I'm glad we see a few more of them this season. Hopefully some more in the round of 8. If Stork wins, you're going to be guaranteed 2 Protoss moving up. That's for sure. Alright, let's get those predictions from the Nukenites. Here's one from HMNAI Himnai. Writes, Godzilla will trample his OSL group on his way to leveling Tokyo and defending the planet from various large beasts. Cal's DT's Reaver pounding is unstoppable. Multiple exclamation points. That was all caps, so that's why I said it like that. Here's another one from Canard66D. Writes, Stork is going to free Godzilla's fantasy. He worked everyone into that. Whatever. Godzilla! There's another one from Flusk. Writes, Stork's Reaver shuttle micro is too much for Cal and Free. Another one from Arathorn 1973 writes, Cal is better than Free. Free is more consistent than Cal. This time, the truer ace player wins. Stork and Cal move out. Both players going for mirrored builds. Mirrored scouting. Almost completely mirrored from these guys so far. This is awesome. Here's another one from Tossify7. Writes, Stork and Free, please. Protoss Dragons Whiting. Only 2 exclamation points, but I think his heart's still in it. And finally, one from Spazomat writes, after Fantasy uses Allied Mine against Stork, Reach will break Fantasy's back and win the wildcard tournament for the open slot. And then Stork and Reach will advance. Roach power! 111 times exclamation point. Yes, excellent. So, okay, let's get into this game now. It looked like mirrored builds to me so far. Of course, most PvPs start out with the same build, and then we start to see the strategies branching off. Cybernetics Core up for Cal. Stork is down here. Does have a Cybernetics Core up, and he sneaks in with the probe. Does manage to get in with the probe, so both players are going to get the full scout on each other, and we might see some Manor Pylons, which is pylons put down in the mineral line. It's easiest to do early in the game, so that's why we see it done early in the game. And even though you basically waste 100 minerals on that, it still gives you an advantage if you block a worker from doing the mining. So that's why players do it so much. But since this was cross-positioned, it took a while for the players to scout each other. Now there's going to be a lot of probes in that mineral line. It's going to be much tougher to do a Manor Pylon. But they're still staying in here, looking for that opportunity, I'm sure. So Stork upgrading his Dragoon range. Of course, if you don't know the story, Stork lost an MSL basically by one decision, and that one decision was he forgot to upgrade Dragoon range. So that's probably why you see him go for that a little bit earlier these days. But whatever. Yes, that was his MSL against Bisu, which was probably the best MSL finals, if not the best finals in history between the two. Game 5 itself is probably the best PvP ever played. Just a cacophony of Archons and Arbiters, Stasis, Storms everywhere. And like I said, Stork forgot to upgrade Dragoon range, and that's pretty much the only reason he lost. So obviously he was so disappointed with himself afterwards. And he probably should have won against Bisu because he seemed to be playing better in that series. I thought, at least. So Cal most likely going to snipe that probe. Yes, he is. Probe rounds the corner and dies horribly. So Cal going to get rid of one probe. Now Stork deciding to put down his expansion, forego the second gateway as Cal is doing. So Cal is going to have more troops out, but Stork will have a stronger economy if he can defend against Cal's initial push. But now Stork, once he does have a second base up in mining, once he transferred the probes over there, that's when he's going to start to throw down a lot more gateways. Robotics facility up for Cal. And we're probably going to see that soon from Stork. I think he's going to throw down his robotics before his other gateway. Let's see if he does. He's right next to that gateway, though. No, the second gateway already coming down for Stork. Probably going to start throwing down more soon. But this is going to be a very scary push from Cal. I think Stork's going to have to mostly focus on getting his reinforcements out. His reinforcements will save him in this engagement from Cal. Because Cal will be able to outpump Stork for a little while, but once Stork gets that second gateway warped in, and then he's going to be in a much better position. And the probe went in, but I'm not sure if the probe saw that Stork was putting up a second base or not. I think it can assume it, just because all of the troops are hanging out right next to the natural expansion. But Stork, warping in his robotics facility, is going to be a step behind Cal, but a step ahead as far as his economy goes. So Cal, in the meantime, he's going to throw down his Nexus. So we're doing a bit of strategy trading now. Stork does have enough troops to fight this off. Cal not microing his Dragoons well enough. He gets the Dragoon out of harm's way, but he does not have enough Dragoons to fight this back. I'm not sure why he's still committing to this. He does have his Zealot. That's why he's committed. He still has his Zealot at the front. Stork with some nice Dragoon micro, but he has to run back. And now Cal is probably going to be able to... Well, I thought he was going to be able to snipe a probe or two, but the reinforcements just popping in for Stork. And Cal is going to have to wait for some reinforcements of his own before he tries that kind of attack again. Observatory up for Cal. We're most likely going to see the same thing warping in for Stork. Here comes Stork with his scouting probe. Notice how much easier it is for Stork to scout because all of Cal's units are outside the natural expansion from Stork. Not sure how he snuck out with that probe. That was very sneaky from him, but he is getting the full scout and everything. And Cal is not going to be able to break this, even though he does have that Zealot at the front, which kind of blanked out a second. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, yes, attack. But dies horribly before he's able to get much damage done. So I can't believe Stork is getting a probe scout this late in the game, but this is pretty awesome. That probe is going to die shortly to Dragoons, but he does have the information he wanted, but which is basically see if Cal does have the robotic support bay up, which he doesn't. He's probably warping it in right now. Yes, he is warping it in at the top, very, very top 10 o'clock position of the map. As each player has two bases going now. So Stork is going to be able to skip over and get his third base sooner than Cal, so that could give him a leg up in this game because he survived the initial attack, and that was the most important attack probably of this game. But alright, Cal, he's going to have to use Reaver Harass. Both players are going to have to use Reaver Harass to get the upper hand in this game now, since it is a pretty mirrored matchup now. Okay, the Observer out. The Observer is not going to see the other Observer, so Stork's not going to be able to snipe that until he has the second Observer out. So Cal is finally going to get the scout on everything that Stork is doing. But now Stork, I think he was just looking for some troops in the middle of the map, decides to let his Observer fly out there. Be free, Observer! Going right for the natural expansion. looking for troops in the middle first. But okay, Stork preparing to do a little bit of Reaver harassment. He already has 4 gate out, and I think it's going to take a little bit longer for Cal to get his 4 gates going. Quad damage. Of course, not the quad damage build. Quad damage build, which I made up the name for, is when you go for just 4 gateways, basically. Try to end it from 4 gateways Dragoon, which is a powerful build. Stork has used it before with success against Pisu and the Incruit OSL. Man, getting so many nice Incruit OSL references into today's commentaries. But yes, that was the most impressive run I've ever seen from Stork, especially as far as PvP goes. He had some awesome PvPs in his Incruit OSL run, including his semifinal against Best, which is awesome. Just Protoss versus Protoss strategy at its best. Ironically, Best. Best got bested. Yoink.